Hello everyone and welcome back to the Oasis.
Wait. The entertainment Oasis. Bam, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
and
today...
It is Saturday night.
It is Saturday night. Woo woo. And as you can tell, we've been having some drinks and then...
we have.
All of a sudden, I get the idea, it's like, hey, why don't we just shoot a video? I mean, we haven't done so in a while because Corona, and we just recently moved in together, and I'm like, okay, well.
And we're getting things rolling again with the videos, and we're finally settled into our new place, after 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
A little bit over 2.5 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah.
And liking it so far, and we thought we'd touch up on
anime.
An anime that a lot of people are.
We're both fans of anime.
Yeah.
Very big fans.
Ever since I was a kid. Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Z, the classics.
Yeah, for me, Yu Yu Hakusho was my gateway anime into other animes.
For me, it was DBZ.
Only because I thought it was DBZ. I think I told you that story where
you did.
I caught like the last. It was like the first week Adult Swim launched on Cartoon Network, and in the last moments you see Botan, and I didn't know much about anime back then. I just saw a girl with blue hair, and I was like, oh, it's Bulma, and so I watched, and a minute later it was over, and I'm like,
what was that?
Yeah, I was like, so it clearly wasn't Dragon Ball Z, and then Cowboy Bebop was.
Wait, so that means your gateway was also DBZ because you had already seen it.
Yeah, but I didn't consider DBZ anime back then. I guess because I wasn't big on anime, so I just thought that of that like as a
just
regular cartoon, kind of like Sailor Moon. Growing up in spending summers in Mexico, Sailor Moon was what they would show on Fox. So technically, if you want to be technical, Sailor Moon was my first.
Your very first one.
My first venture into anime. So I guess I'll stick with that. Sailor Moon was technically my gateway into anime.
Okay, interesting.
But today we're gonna talk about
a more recent anime.
Yeah.
One that's very popular.
Everybody's weeping over.
Oh yeah.
Ourselves included.
What's it called?
My Hero Bebop Shippuden, I think.
There we go. Or was it One My Hero Punch Academia?
That sounds.
With Rick and Morty. Yeah. No, yeah, it's actually My Hero Academia. We thought we'd share our top 5 moments that got us thinking, that we thought was interesting.
Not just like, oh, these are the best moments in the series, action-wise.
Yeah, obviously, because those are kind of like
the big fights.
The big fight scenes, like those are obviously going to be everybody's favorite. But we kind of wanted to touch up on more moments that kind of made you think, kind of made you second guess maybe some characters. Maybe
it's just
maybe something that just kind of like that you maybe didn't expect.
Maybe just your favorite, like what in the whole series you thought were, in this case, I thought were my favorite moment. Yeah, let's start it off for us if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so
trash.
Already he's already talking shit.
I mean, I already know it's gonna be shit, like garbage.
Look, but I feel like my list is pretty unconventional. They're just moments that I thought were interesting. But starting off with 5, I thought it was kind of cool. That moment where all the heroes were infiltrating, what was it, the Yakuza base, and they had joined up with the League of Villains, or like those 2 members from the League of Villains, joined them or whatever. But
was it Toga and Twice?
Toga and Twice, there you go, yes. I'm very bad with character names, so very bad with character names. I know them by their abilities and appearance overall, but yeah. I just liked how when they encountered that one Yakuza trio, the one that were fighting, was it Sun Eater?
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually showed their own code of honor, their own loyalty. The same thing with the League of Villains. Those 2 characters, they showed loyalty to, is it Hishigi?
Shikaragi?
Who's Hishigi? Is there even a Hishigi in the anime?
Not that I remember. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Anyway, bad with names.
Shikaragi.
Yeah. But anyway, so those 2 had showed loyalty to him, yet these Yakuza members showed loyalty to their leader. The guy that... What was it?
Overhaul.
Overhaul, there we go. See? There you go. Another example. But anyway, it just kind of showed me that, you know, if not everybody who was in either the Yakuza or like the villains was just like some like mindless savage murderers. Like, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of that in both, I would say. But even like, I guess among villains or like the Yakuza, they had their own like honor code or their own like loyalties. And I think like one of the moments that really showed that was when that guy that eats everything, he, you know, he seemed like he was just like going on a rampage and just eating everything in sight, but then he actually did stop right before he was going to harm his own comrade. You know, I feel like up until that point, you just thought like those villains were just damn ruthless and just kind of killed whoever was in their way, but that kind of showed another side. I thought was interesting.
That's what I think of it.
Yeah, see, such a hater, right? Such a hater.
Garbage.
Okay, that's your garbage 5.
Well, my numero 5 is Batgum and Kirishima against what did they call themselves? Like, it was that Sword and Shield battle, Rapha and
Oh, we had
Tang.
Didn't we just say like not mentioning like major fight scenes, and the first one you
That's
say
not a
is
major
a major
fight
fight scene? Oh my god, are you kidding me?
That's not a major.
That was
a
during
major
that
fight
scene
scene
in
is
Infiltration.
All Might versus Nomu.
We're the
Or
Sword
All
and
Might
Shield. We're
versus
Sword and Shield. Fighting
All for
another Sword
One.
and Shield, we can do it.
Regardless of what this guy says, that was a great moment.
Basic.
I mean, Kirishima, by far the best
Trash.
character in the whole series.
Trash.
In any anime.
Lame Cork.
But I mean, his quirk, yes, it is, and I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of like this moment. It's him on an actual mission with an actual pro hero, watching each other's back, and him like just showcasing what their school motto is, the go beyond plus ultra. Like, it was so moving that even his enemy had props. I think respect for him. You know, I thought that was pretty epic. It was pretty epic for Kirishima, like to have that much heart that you earned your opponent's respect. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. I think that's why I like it, because it's from a character that isn't really a main character. It's a side character, but goes to show even side characters, you know, they have a lot of heart, regardless of whether or not all their quirk is I'm gonna harden like a fucking metapod. But yeah, so that was my number 5.
You done?
No, wait. Okay, now I'm done.
Yeah. Anyway. So.
Oh man, I'm already asleep before you even start.
You know, I can't even. What was my number 4 again?
How sad. Can't even remember his own top 5.
I got him right here. Oh yeah, I remember it without even looking.
Which was?
Yeah, this one was kind of, I guess, cheesy. Yeah, and I'll admit it's pretty basic. Like, everybody loved this moment, but you're next. You're next, kid. Yeah, it's pretty much when All Might pointed to like the screen and basically signaled everybody that his time was over, and basically passing the torch on to Deku. But I kind of liked how a lot of different people interpreted it in their own ways. You know, there was that one girl that said that the way she saw it was All Might was pointing to all the rest of the villains, saying like, hey, I just defeated, you know, the biggest, baddest villain out there, and now the rest of you are next. And then there was other people that thought that he was just pointing to the next generation of heroes in general, saying now it's your turn to rise up and, you know, kind of like take the reins. But then of course Deku took it like a very personal thing, like him being his protege, you know, he's the next one to like kind of fill his shoes. And yeah, I like that moment. Sweet and simple, unlike this guy who just kind of.
Yeah, no, that's a very Captain Planet moment. The power is yours. Nah.
Why do you hate Captain Planet, man?
No, I love
Captain
Planet.
Then what's wrong with Captain Planet, man?
The fact that All Might's trying to be Captain Planet. That's the problem. So, my number 4 is that moment where everyone bands together to save Bakugou. when All Might's fighting All for One. You know, he's like knee deep within the League of Villains,
Two basic
and they all
ones.
start plotting, and I like it because it shows a different side to Bakugou, and I think even it also shows Midoriya's understanding of Bakugou as a person. He knows that if he's the one to ask Bakugou or to extend his hand out to Bakugou, Bakugou would say no, like F you, Midoriya. But the fact that that you see that Bakugou, for as ill-tempered as he genuinely does have connections with people, and that being Kirishima. So they blast off with that weird thing that
Super
they
lame.
form, and
Mhm.
and just seeing Baku actually accept the helping hand from Kirishima was kind of cool. It really made me feel something for these characters, and like they're growing. Bakugou isn't the same kid he was at the beginning. He's learned to let people in as friends.
Again with the Harding guy. Do you have a hard on for the hard guy?
Hey, he is grade A.
Grade A lame trash. That's what he
awesome
is.
Awesome hero. But yeah, that was my number 4. Just a genuinely great moment that showcases a character's growth.
So like for sure you would say that your favorite character is him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually have a shirt of him underneath. I don't, but it'd be cool if I did. So yeah, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is one of those moments that made me kind of question Deku's character. It's pretty much when he, right before he was about to fight Bakugou in their standoff or whatever.
Which one out of the many times they fight?
The main one, the one where like Bakugou calls him out. Like,
oh yeah,
at
night.
To duke it out. That moment when he says, he said something like, I look up to you, and every time I get serious or something, I can't help it. I copy you or something like that. Like I revert back to what you do, as in trying to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that moment was a very contradictory thing to his character. Like he's basically supposed to be like the next All Might in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Very caring, smile on his face. Very kind-hearted, just wants to help people. But that to me just like went completely the opposite direction. Now all of a sudden it's like, so what? This whole time your true nature was you just want to be better or the best? I just kind of thought that went completely the other way. Like it kind of made everything up to that point. It's like, what? Like you just basically did a whole 180 on us. So then what's your true character, Deku? Like are you secretly like Bakugou, very self-centered? Yeah, you may have may have good things, but like you're actually much more self-centered than everybody thought? Or was that just kind of like sloppy writing?
Could be sloppy writing.
I don't know. That kind of made me like rethink him as a character, and
I mean,
I don't know.
Did you ever even like him at one point?
Deku?
Yeah.
I thought he was just like the very like standard like quintessential like good guy character, kind of like an All Might, but like in kid form. Yeah, but I mean, as a protagonist, it's kind of like what I expect for something like a hero.
Don't get me wrong. He became a better character, I think, towards the end of season 2. Because season 1, he was oh god, he was such a whiny little bee. And even going into season 2, but once he gained that confidence, that's when I kind of started to like him. But that's at least that fight was a pretty good one.
It was a good fight, but like, of course the fight was good, but just that I guess questioning character kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, it kind of just left me scratching my head. Yeah.
Yeah, well, my number 3. This is where you knew like shit was gonna go down. It's when Overhaul and Shikaragi meet for the first time, where they're hanging out in their warehouse or their lair, and then Shikaragi just rolls up and shit hits the fan. Like at first it's like, oh yeah, well hey, you want to join me, blah blah blah, and they actually go at it, and each side loses somebody. But just seeing that interaction between two bad guys, you know, with similar abilities in a sense. Even though I think Overhaul's is more like alchemy, whereas Shigaraki's is more like just I'll wither you away into nothingness. But it was a good scene, like seeing how they both interacted, seeing their personalities kind of like, you know, clash, and then seeing each, you know, what each team had to offer in terms of like
that caught you kind of off guard.
No, it didn't catch me off guard. I just thought that was a great moment, like seeing an anime just throw two bad guys, like, and I don't mean like, because you know how some animes you'll have the anti-hero and the bad guy going at it. Yeah. This one was two legit bad guys. One that you're just meeting for the first time, but you know.
It kind of reminded me of the like a rival mafia.
Yeah.
You know how like, you know, like organized crimes got like, you know, this family and that family, and they got bad blood between each other.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of something like that. And of course it's the Yakuza, so that's.
But it was dope though. Both sides took losses, and just watching them go at it was, I swear after that moment was over, I'm like, I gotta watch that again. Just, it was such a great moment. That was my number 3.
So, which one would you say that you get behind more, the Yakuza or the League of Villains?
League of Villains for sure.
Okay. So, my number 4 was when, I think his name was, let me try the name. Is his name Mirio? Or?
Yeah, the Million.
Yeah, but like his like normal name, Mirio. Yeah, it's when he was first introduced.
Oh shit! And he beats the shit out of everyone.
Yeah, well that was a bonus, but I actually liked when he, afterwards when he beats the shit out of everybody, he actually explains how hard it was to gain mastery of his power.
Yeah. How
he, at first it was actually a very big hindrance in his life. It was like almost like a weakness. Mm-hmm. You know, it kept on like derobing him, like embarrassing him or whatever. And how he really, really had to turn, I guess, a quirk that was extremely inconvenient into great strength. Like, even though I'm here and I'm a badass and I'm beating the crap out of you, like, and then maybe I make it look easy, but it's like, no. Like, it kind of reminded me of Rock Lee. From Naruto, when he fights Sasuke and beats the shit out of him, and it's like he makes it look easy. It's like, no, but I had to train every single day of my life up until this point to get to where I am. Yeah, you know, it kind of reminded me of that, to where even though I made this look easy, and I'm like, you guys might think like, oh, you have such a powerful quirk, like a lot of work went behind it. It wasn't just something like, kind of like a Bakugou. How he just was born with an amazing quirk, and he was just naturally strong ever since he was a kid. Everybody always praised him, and he developed that huge ego. But Mirio was the complete opposite. His quirk was just a complete downer that he had to turn into a strength. I kind of liked that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I like that. But no, my number 2 also has to do with Mirio, but it's when he fights Overhaul. But after once he's depowered, he gets shot.
And he kept going.
Yeah, and just watching how much heart he puts into that, and you know, he knows he got no power, and he knows what Overhaul's ability is, and you know, he does what he can to save the little girl, and it proves to not be enough. But just watching him like not give up was like, oh god. Like, that one had me from the heart.
Yeah,
I was like, Jesus Christ.
That was a good moment. Yeah.
Number 2, yeah.
That was your number 2. Yeah. Well, my number 1, and this is also another one that kind of made me question character big time, was when Stain called out the speedster guy. When he ambushed him in the alley or whatever. Yeah. And he got it on top of him. And basically pointed out like you claim to be a hero, but this whole time that you've been here, the only thing that was on your mind was vengeance, on how to get back to me It didn't matter if and there actually was someone who was in need of saving nearby that you completely ignored, and instead, like, nothing on your mind is vengeance. And then he kind of brings to light, I guess, like the dark side of heroes. Like, not every single one is just like a bleeding heart that's just looking out for everybody's well-being. Like, there's a lot of selfishness and conceitedness that goes into like what heroes are as well. I mean, a big one is, look at Endeavor. You know, he's the number 2 hero, but all he's obsessed about is how All Might was better than him, and he was just the number 2. Like, it just seemed like his whole world, like, it was a very conceited one, you know. And I think that's the imperfection that Stain was trying to get across from Hero. That's why he hated them, you know, because he was just saying, like, heroes are in it just for like the glory, you know, the money, you know, selfishness, and just kind of looking out for themselves. Like, they kind of hide behind this facade of like, oh, I want to save and help people, but really you're just, you know, like, you're just in it for yourself. And the sad thing is that he proved it right there and then from the freaking class rep. The guy that's supposed to kind of lead your class to do better was just in it for vengeance at that moment when there was someone who needed saving. You know, and that was my number 1 moment. Like, and it kind of happened early in the series, and I really liked that.
But it's a good moment. It really makes you question whether this guy's I mean, he does bad things, but at the end of the day, his motivations, like, people can relate to. And
he has a good point,
which is what it did for a lot of the villains. They're like, well, yeah, and that's why you kind of see even throughout the series, like, people bring up his name as an influence, you know, for why they're doing what they're doing.
And a bunch of villains got behind him. Because they agreed with him. They kind of saw him as a leader, even though he was like, I don't care who follows me. I'm just doing my own thing. But yeah, I just kind of like how he brought that to light. It kind of makes you, you know, see the other side.
Reevaluate, you know, what you're thinking. But
yeah,
that's a good moment. Now, my number 1.
Surprised you actually agreed with some of mine.
Those are legit good ones. I like those. But my number 1 is so this one is one of the major fights.
Of course.
I'm not sure if you've seen this one though, because I think you're like 2 episodes from finishing season 4?
Unfortunately I haven't seen every single episode, but yeah.
Spoiler alert, but it's Endeavor fights Anomu.
Which one's Anomu?
You know, like the one All Might fights, the one that has like the brain sticking out?
Oh, One for All.
No.
Isn't it?
Remember the first fight?
Oh, no, like that. The bird looking thing. Yes.
So, you know how throughout the series there's like other versions of Nomu?
Yeah, so he was created off of All Might's genes, right, or something like that.
I think so. Yeah, he was at least created with quirks to help fight against All Might.
Something like that, yeah.
But there's this new one that they create, and so it's unleashed in the city. And to your point, you were mentioning earlier that for Endeavor, you know, he always wanted to be number 1.
He's very conceited, yeah.
And so at this point, All Might had already retired, so he by default was number 1.
Yeah.
But people weren't getting behind him
because they kind of knew his like true nature. He was a jerk.
Yeah. You know that, and they kind of felt like he didn't really earn it. You know, with All Might, people got behind him. From that scene that they show in the first episode where, you know, I think the city's on fire and like he has people on his back and he has that smile. And that's kind of what got people like, oh my god, like this guy, like, you know, he's the symbol of peace. And this is how Endeavor earns that respect. Like, he goes all out, and by the end of the fight, the people, like, this is his moment, and the people can see, okay, this is our new symbol of peace. Like, they no longer think of him as
the number 2 guy,
the number 1 by default. Now they actually see him as, yeah, he earned his place as number 1 now. So, and I think that was a very powerful moment, because his whole life, he was trying to, you know, be number 1.
He was in All Might's shadow.
Yeah. But now he broke from his shadow and he carved his own path to make himself the actual symbol of peace and not by default. And so by the end of the fight, like, you know, everyone's just like cheering for him and it's televised, and so he gets his moment in the sun, and he can officially be recognized as the number 1 based on his own merits, which I thought was super cool. And the fight itself is really cool though, especially the ending moments for it. And then when the music starts playing, and you know, and it just starts to like crescendo as he's like heading. Oh God, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a really good moment. Well,
okay, so I guess we didn't think both our lists were complete trash.
Some of it was trash, but we had some good. We had some good points that I wouldn't mind agreeing with.
Okay. I feel like the ones that we disagreed with most were at the bottom of our list, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm not super surprised, but we didn't have any overlapping moments.
Yeah.
All 5 of ours were very different. But I did notice that some of our moments were close together, like the infiltration into the Yakuza stronghold.
Yeah, it's just different moments from the
same thing. Yeah.
It's cool though.
Good stuff. Anyway, guys, what were your favorite moments in the show? Let us know in the comments below. I'd really love to hear them. And
maybe let us know if you guys like this format.
Yeah, for sure. It's something new that we're trying.
Just having drinks and comparing top 5s, or it could be about anything. But let us know if you like it. If you do, then we'll invest more time in doing stuff like this. Yeah,
of course. Again, let us know your moments and see if we agree with them, disagree with them, and maybe if you agree with some of ours or disagree with some of ours.
Ooh, and give us suggestions too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
that'll be awesome.
Yeah, till then, I am Clueless McLean.
This is Nathro.
And feel free to come back. Come back to the Oasis.
The entertainment Oasis.
Peace out.
Later, guys.
Yeah, you gotta watch that fight. There's a really cool song that... It's so good.